Hey there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button, help me out as I record this video and get my subscribers up here on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Okay, so today, back to March of the Machine, and we're starting to cover some of the cards. I've done quite a few already. Got obviously as record this, the whole spoilers out, and I'm going to do a few more this week and then have a little bit of a break and go back to some older cards for the next couple of weeks until I can get the full set on MTGO, so it makes this a lot easier for me. But there was one other card that came out this week that has really caught my eye, and I thought, nope, we're going to just go and do this one anyway, especially now the full spoilers out, and I figured it was worth looking at this one entirely. So what am I talking about today? Well, we're going back to Simic with this one, and it's in the main set. So here's one of the cards I hope I opened at the pre-release. Inga and Esika, 2 blue and a green for a 4/4 legendary creature human god. And it has creatures you control have vigilance and tap. Add 1 mana of any colour. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. And whenever you cast a creature spell, if 3 or more mana from creatures was spent to cast it, draw a card. I like blue-green decks. I've always had a thing for blue-green decks in Commander. And this one, I'm not convinced about the artwork, I'll be honest. It's a bit too comic for me, but I can see the point in it, and I like the card. I really do like the card. Just the ability to have all your creatures turn into the fact that they can produce mana. Yes, they can only cast other creatures, fine. But having all those creatures just tapping to cast all the creatures you've got in your hand just seems amazing to me. So I went and built the deck. As usual at the moment, while I'm still waiting for these cards to come up on MTGO, we've had to use Goldfish, so hopefully Goldfish don't get too upset with me, but here we go. This is what the deck looks like. A few things I will point out. 41 creatures, 4 spells, 6 artifacts, 9 enchantments. Obviously we've gone creature heavy with this deck. We need to have the extra creatures because of what's going on, in the fact that Inga and Esika helps us cast the creatures as we get them into play. But there's a couple of creatures you probably haven't expected to see in here. If we've got Inga and Esika out, Memnite and Ornithopter, they kind of act like extra lands. They're free to cast, they don't do anything, and you can just drop into play and activate Inga and Esika instant. Well, if we've got one of the other enchantments in play, Concord and Crossroads is here to give everything haste. Otherwise, you get a land, an extra bit of mana ramp the next turn with Inga and Esika out. So from that point of view, it's quite cool. There's a few things you'd expect to see in the deck. Elf, Elf, and Elf. All 3 of the 1-drop produce 1 green elves are here. Gala Greeters is here because we want treasure. +1/+1 counts a little bit of life gain, but mainly for the treasure side of it. But one of the key cards going forward is going to be Kinnan and Bond of Prodigy. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent could produce. Yeah, okay then. So with our dear commander out, that means all our creatures are tapping for 2 if we've got both of them in play, which makes it really easy to empty your hand really quickly. Sylvan Carrot is just so we've got a bit of protected mana ramp. Thrasios Triton Hero is also here. Might as well use our mana to scry through to some of the creatures we want, so no issue with that. Corsair to make sure we can just play lands off the top of our library if we need to and gain a little bit of life. Likewise, Dryad of Elysian Grove is purely here because it lets us play an additional land and makes all our lands blue and green for all wants of purposes. Also, doesn't do anything. Attacking for 2/4 is not great, but we can tap it for mana. Same with the Corsair Crewfix, obviously. So, from that point of view, it's quite good. Edric, Spymaster of Trest is here as well. We're going to get in some damage at some stage, because don't forget, we also get Vigilance off this guy. So, having a bit of way of drawing cards is not the worst plan in the world. Eternal Witness to return anything that goes to the graveyard. Reclamation Sage to deal with stuff that may be annoying us. Going from there, Shardless Agent will obviously cascade into one of these, which, I don't mind any of these being cascaded into to a certain extent, or maybe some of these over here, but we'll see. But cascading's fine for me. Tireless Tracker, just so we can get some extra draws when we drop the lands. We are playing 37 lands in the deck, and I figured having this in play so we can get some clues would be quite good. Likewise, it taps for mana eventually, or it can be one of our beaters. Uro. Yeah, it's blue-green, it's Uro. I did avoid the other key Planeswalker card that everyone hates to see. So I just went with Uro instead. Get it to escape, it's fine. Wood Elves a little bit more ramp. And Adrex and Nev. We do have quite a substantial token theme coming up shortly, so having Adrex and Nev come into play as well seems like a really sensible plan to me. Beast Whisperer to draw some cards. Oracle of Muldai, extra land draw, play the lands off top of our library. Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter, we play the first card each turn, we get to do the free one or get a draw, that's fine. And Renata, Call to the Hunt. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Is really, really nice, especially since all the tokens we're going to be producing shortly. So, makes our tokens bigger, which is always good. Solemn Sim, just to go and find some basic land. First one of the new cards from March of the Machine is Zephyr Singer. Flying Vigilance, it's got Convoke. And whenever Zephyr Singer enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on each creature that convoked it. Gives us a way to get some of our big creatures flying. And, it's quite a fun card for 3/4. You could get it out quite early in this deck, I would imagine. Speaking of cards we want to get out, Defiler of Dreams for the card draw when we cast blue permanents, and Defiler of Figure to make our green creatures even bigger. They're always good fun. Speaking of big creatures, Greensleeves Marrow Sorcerer. Protection from Planeswalkers and Wizards. Power and toughness equal to number of lands. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, the first of our token producers, get 3/3 green Badger token. Yep, here we go. One card you probably weren't expecting to see was Momovic Simic Visionary. It doesn't turn up that often. I don't see it in very many decks at all that involve blue-green. But playing a green creature spell, we get to go and search our library for a creature card, reveal it, and put it on top of our library. Fine. Whenever you play a blue creature spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it in your hand. Just stack your triggers in the right order for the multicoloured stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Right. Mercfiend Liege is here. Pump up our creatures and untap all green and or blue creatures you control during each other player's untap step, which means, I'm sure there is some broken combo that I've missed out where we can untap all our creatures. There are ways of probably winning the game a lot quicker than what I'm doing, but the untap ability is nice. Seedborn Muse does it with our lands as well. Thragtusk, just because it's a big reasonable creature, gives us some life gain, and when it dies it leaves another token behind, which I'm happy with. And token producers you expect to see in a deck like this, so we can abuse the Rampaging Baloths, Tolver's Huntmaster, Wolverine Riders, Avenger of Zendikar, Coma, Titan of Industry, and then Ancient Silver Dragon, just so we can get maximum cards as we can. Verdant Force, another token producer, and obviously what I'm classing as one of the big win conditions, what I'm hoping we find. You could go the other way. You could play Worldly Tutor. We could play anything that convokes, and I've forgotten the name of the green spell. Call of Calling. There you go. Comes back to me to go and get this, but I'm not bothering. I'm just keeping it fairly on the down low. Obviously, I'm going to try and make this deck more powerful as time produces, but this is a good starting point. Planeswalkers, just the 2. Ren and 7, purely so we can go find some lands, and Nissa, just so we can get the Phyrexian token out basically really early as a protection thing. Spells, we kept it to a minimum. Now I've chucked in Atrax's Fall, again a new card for March of the Machines. Destroy, it's a sorcery, so it's a little bit slow. I preferred it as an instant, but I think it might have been broken. But destroy target artifact, enchantment, creature with flying, and battle. Now I'm not sure at the moment how popular battles are going to be in Commander, but I really did want one way of at least taking out one if we needed to get rid of it. So we'll see what happens, but we've got another way of getting rid of things because Cyclonic Rifts here. The last 2 spells, we try to keep it as creature heavy as we could. Heroic Intervention to give everything indestructible and hexproof for a turn, and Rampant Growth so I can just go and find the odd and occasional land if I need to. You could probably replace Rampant Growth with Kodoma's Reach, Cultivate, either of the above if you want to, but I just played Rampant Growth because it's cheap. Artifact wise, a little bit more ramp with Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, and Arcane Signet. Like I say, we didn't go heavy on it because of what the creatures are doing. Elixir of Immortality's here, just so we can make sure everything gets shuffled back in if it all goes pear-shaped. And the Great Henge is also here, because we do get some big creatures. And gives us another way of drawing cards so we can keep building up the board. Enchantment wise, nothing that you wouldn't expect to see. So Concordant Crossroads is here. Cryptolitherite I've also put in just so I can back up the whole let's tap our creatures for mana. Earthcraft lets us untap, tap an untapped creature you control, untap target basic land. It might be we need to untap them at some stage for some reason, and that helps us ramp. Sylvan Anthem, just pump up our green creatures and get a little bit scrying done. Beastmaster Ascension to make all our creatures as big as possible as quickly as possible. Growing Rights, you'd expect to see it's not going to show up again, but you all know it turns into a Gaze Cradle and you get to look at the top 4 cards of your library, if I remember. Put one of your creatures into hand, and then when you've got 4 more creatures in play, it flips to a thing. Tribute to the World Tree is also in the deck. New card for March of the Machine. 3 green, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card of its power is 3 or greater, otherwise put a couple of +1/+1 counters on it. It's quite a nice way of pumping our stuff up. Parallel Lives, you expected to see it, I'm guessing by now, so it's here. Double up on all our tokens. And Wilderness Reclamation to untap all our lands at the beginning of each end step. Now, this is probably a dead card in here, so we haven't really got anything we can activate with the additional mana. But, I don't know. We have the only thing we have got. Where is it? There you go. Quandrix Campus, so we can scry. Not sure I've played this right. I don't think this one needs to be in here. But hey, I'm going to leave it for now and try it out. It might help. That's it really. And then the lands: Breeding Pool, Command Tower, Dreamroot Cascade, Flooded Grove, all the other things you'd expect to see. Blue-green in the deck. Quite heavy on the forest and the islands. Purely because I wanted to be, and I didn't have any other green-blue lands to put in. I don't own any of the original jewels, so if you've got one of the original jewels, you can drop one of these out, put that in. But that's it. That is my little take on our new wonderful Simic commander, Inga and Esika. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what I've missed out, because I'm sure there is stuff I've missed out of this one, because I'm doing this, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm sure there's stuff I've missed. Please hit the sub button as I record this. I've got 157 subs here on YouTube, so please hit it, help me out. Near I get to, we're what, 843 away from making any money off YouTube. But share around, let your friends know, maybe get a few more people come and follow me. I'd appreciate it. But that's it for now. I'll be back soon with another deck take. Take care, and I'll see you in the future. Take care. Bye.